Welcome to Old Man Sports Talk. I'm your host, Old Man Nate, and I'm sorry I'm extremely late. Had a lot of mistakes I made this morning. Forgot some things, had to make two trips back, and this wasn't good. Was not good. So we're going to talk with you all the way up until kickoff. Then when the OSU game kicks off, we'll be off, and then we will start. We will come back at halftime, okay, and do a little halftime show. And then, of course, like always, we'll do our post-game show after the game. So if you're just joining us, come on out. Come on out to Twin Peaks, 6500 Southwest 3rd in Oklahoma City. They have great eats, great drinks, and great scenic views. The food is they got really great food. They got all types of food here. They got hamburgers, they've got nachos, they've got pot roast, they've got chicken fried steak, they got pizza. Um, you name it, they got it. And of course, they got the coldest beer on tap. So come on out and enjoy the game. So really quick, we only got about 10, maybe 15 minutes top before the game talk starts. So really, um, just want to discuss uh, the keys to the game. The keys to the game are uh, for OU to win, they are going to have to ground Ollie Gordon. They got to hold Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon right now is the leading rusher in the country. Not just the Big 12, but he's the leading rusher in the country. And just to give you what he's got going on this year, here, I'm just going to hold it because I'm having all kinds of troubles right now. So he's ran for 1,087 yards. He's averaging 136 yards per game across the country. However, in Big 12 alone, he's averaging 196 yards on the ground. So the entire season, which includes every game, what are there? There's 6-2. So yeah, all 8 games, he only averaged 136 yards a game. But you got to remember, the first 3 games he hardly got any playing time. And then when the Big 12 started, that is when he really took off. And he's been averaging 196 yards a game on the ground. So they have got to find a way to ground Ollie. I think if Ollie Gordon rushes for around 200 yards today, the Cowboys win. They have got to hold him to 150 or less, okay? Second key is the Sooners have got to grind the ground game. In other words, when they got the ball, they got to do what they've been doing, which is not taking big chunks. It's been grinding out the ground game. And by the way, only one time this season have the Sooners been outrushed, and it was not last week against Kansas. It was against Cincinnati, and they still won that game 20-6. Last week, surprisingly, they won the rushing battle by about 40 yards, but they didn't pass the ball very well. So they got to. I know I said they got to grind the ground game. That's just because I want to keep the ball away from Ollie Gordon. But we've got to also take advantage downfield and throw the ball down the field a lot today. All right. And the last thing, the third key point is we have to win our red zone opportunities. So here's a quick stat. In the red zone offense, Oklahoma is number 62 in the country. If 29 touchdowns, 8 field goals, that's 37 out of 43. And they're number 1 in the Big 12 at 81%. There's 86% for the season, but 81% in the Big 12. So OSU, though, is number 38 in the country at 89% for the season. They've got 19 touchdowns, 12 field goals, 31 out of 35 times have they been able to score in the red zone. So, red zone defense, the Sooners are number 20th in the country, only allowing 75% of the time their opponent to score, 8 touchdowns, 7 field goals, so 15, only 20 times as the opponent made it in the red zone, and they've allowed them to score 15 out of 20. And it's about 50% touchdown, 50% field goals. They're number 1 in the Big 12, allowing them just at 67%. So Oklahoma State is number 15 in the country at 72%, with allowing their opponent 10 touchdowns, 3 field goals, so 13 out of 18. So they're pretty similar on defense, pretty similar on offense. And both of them actually, they're tied for first in the Big 12 at 67% in the Big 12, allowing their opponent to score. So that's why I say you got to win the red zone opportunity, because both offenses and both defenses are pretty good. They're bend, don't break defenses. And of course, like always, you have to win the turnover battle. Okay. So if you're online, please take the time to say something. I know you're online. I see the people online. Please say hi. And again, if you're watching online, you're not here at Twin Peaks, get your butt on down here to Twin Peaks to enjoy the great eats, great drinks, and great scenic views. Okay. Like I said, they got some of the best food, and they got the best food when it comes to sports bars. It's not even close. They got a variety of food: nachos, burgers, pizza, pot roast, chicken fried steak, ribs, you name it, they got it. And then the coldest beer on tap, they got that too. Got me a Dos Equis sitting over here. So, those are the keys of the game. For the Sooners to win, they got to ground Gordon, grind out the ground game, and win red zone opportunities. And they do got to throw the ball more than they did last week. It wasn't even close how many times they ran. Now, the weather had a lot to do with it. But let me tell you something. When you got a chance to win the game and it's 3rd and 10, you better put it in the air. Or no. So this Texas-Kansas State game coming down to the wire over here. 4:39 to go in the game. Looks like Texas got the ball. Texas gets the first down. This is a key opportunity right here. If Texas gets the first down, it's exactly what happened last week with OU and Kansas. If Texas gets a first down here, they're going to win the ball game. So that's what OU needed to do. They didn't do it. All right. So I got a lot of stuff to talk about, but I can't get it all in. You know how I always go over stats. I really ain't got time to do that today because, again, I was running late, and I apologize. I'll make it up to you guys. So we're going to take it all the way to kickoff today, or we didn't do that. We cut it off right before game time. So passing offense, we'll go ahead and talk about some of these. Passing offense, OU's ranked 11th in the country at 309 yards per game. They're number 4 in the Big 12 at 279. Oklahoma State is 55th in the country, averaging 245 yards per game, and number 5 in the country, or in the Big 12 at 270. So they're very similar in the passing. This is the Big 12. OU got to step it up. They need to throw for 350 today. Now you talk about passing yards allowed, so passing defense. OU's 87th in the country, allowing 230 yards per game, and number 9 at 255. So at 9 out of 14 teams in the Big 12, OU is not as good as we thought they were, huh? OSU, they're 91st in the country, allowing 239 yards per game, and they're 12th out of 14 teams at 265 yards per game. So Sooners should be able to, both teams, OSU is going to rely on running. They're going to do that. But OU needs to try and rely on pass. Okay. Rushing offense. OU 33rd in the country at 181 yards per game. They're 7th in the Big 12 at 184. So it didn't really increase or decrease much once they hit conference play. OSU is 30th in the country at 184 yards per game, but they're number 2 in the Big 12 at 224. That's because they started playing Ollie Gordon more. So take Ollie Gordon out of the equation, and they're not much of a ballgame. We got to stop Ollie Gordon. Rushing defense. OU is 51st in the country. OU is 51st in the country, allowing 132 yards per game. They're 6th in the Big 12 at 164. While OSU is 101st in rushing defense, allowing 170 yards per game, but they're 8th in the Big 12, allowing 177. So the Sooners should be able to run and pass on OSU. Our punter should not hit the field today. Now, I don't want to rely on field goals. Our field goal kicker has not been his confidence is kind of broken off. He missed his last 3 field goals, to be honest with you, or at least 3 out of the last 4. So we are talking about red zone defense. Scoring offense, OU is number 4 in the country at 42 points a game. They're 5th in the country, or Big 12, at 34. So they've actually increased since joining the Big 12. It got better. See that about this punt. Oh, okay. They'll get pretty good field position. K-State will try and finish it off. Oklahoma State is 45th in the country at scoring offense at 31 points a game. They're number. Dang, I think I'm gonna set that one right. Oh, they're number 1. I'll talk about. They're number 1 in the Big 12 at 37 points a game. So since they've been Big 12, their points have allowed per game have been increased a lot. Scoring defense. OU is 22 in the country at 19 points a game, and they're 4th in the conference at 25 points a game, whereas OSU is 55th in the country, allowing 24 points a game, 7th in the conference at 27 points a game. Let's see if Kansas State can drive down and at least get a field goal opportunity. There's a minute 13 to go. They're down by 3 and are out of timeout. Okay. The Sooners are 7-1, coming off their first loss this season last week to Kansas. It was a bad weather, but the Sooners should have won the ball game. They didn't, in my opinion. They didn't try to seal the deal on their next to last drive. They instead just tried to make Kansas use their timeouts and then put the pressure on their defense. I thought that was a bad choice by the coaching staff. But overall, it's Levy's and Brent Venables. Overall, it's Brent Venables' decision on what they need to do. But they said in the press conference they both decided that's what they wanted to do, was just make them use their timeouts. I think that was a bad decision on both of them. However, Tuesday's press conference, Brent Venables mentioned how he wished they would have thrown the ball down the field more throughout the game, and they didn't. He thought there was opportunities to do that, and they didn't. So look for that to happen today. Look for the Sooners to throw the ball down the field a lot today. Okay, well, I say a lot. I say, at least 5 or 6 times to throw the ball down the field. They didn't throw the ball over 10 yards last week. So I understand weather has something to do with that, but Kansas threw the ball. That 4th down, that was a 20-yard pass when he caught it. I'm not including the run. All right, it's going to be 3rd down, about 45 seconds to go for Jayhawk or the Wildcat. So this is a big game because this Kansas State Texas game is a big game. The winner of this game has a foot in the Big 12 championship. The loser is pretty much out. The winner will still have to beat Iowa State. Iowa State wins today too. So right now there's a 5-way tie for first place in the Big 12. Oklahoma, Texas, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and Iowa State. And 4 of those teams play each other today. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State play each other. Kansas State and Texas play each other. So 2 of those are pretty much eliminated, right? If the loser of the Oklahoma State game is definitely eliminated because they don't play any of the other teams. They've already, like OU already beat Iowa State and Texas, OSU, and they don't play Kansas State. And then OSU already played Iowa State and Kansas State, and they don't play Texas. So fourth and 6, a big play right here. Let's see what happens. Blitz coming. They picked it up, though. Got to get a first down. He got it. He got a first down. He's in field goal range. Fox not going to stop for a second. They reset the chains. So the winner of the Kansas State-Texas game, though, both of them still have to play Iowa State. So the winner still has one more hiccup. The winner's game has one more hiccup to get by. Unless Iowa State loses to Kansas today, which if you're a Sooner fan, you want Kansas to win that game anyway, because Kansas is now in the top 25 in the playoff pool. So you want guys that beat you to keep winning, because Kansas really don't have a chance to make the Big 12 championship. But if they keep winning, it will increase OU's value. So throw it away. All right. And I go ahead and kick to it. I still go right here if I'm Kansas State, simply because you don't want to take a chance of them getting sacked. He's almost got sacked this man. I just think Kansas State's priest on the sideline. I've never seen a football team have a priest on the sideline. They don't have any timeout, so can't go call timeout and have the priest come say a prayer. So they're gonna just throw the ball out of bounds. You better not take a chance for a sack. Throw the ball away. Throw it away. All right, throw it away. All right, so we got one last down here. 6 seconds. Here comes the 4th and 10. Here comes the kicker. He got to make it. It's in overtime. Otherwise, Texas wins. So yeah, big game. Oklahoma State. The winner of this game is 1.5 foot in the Big 12 championship. The loser is they don't really have a chance to make the Big 12 championship. Okay, because that will be their second loss. And I mean, if there was a tie between OU and Texas and Iowa State, those three, then yeah, OU would sneak in. But that now you're wanting, like, Texas would have to lose this game, and then Iowa State beat Iowa State, and then Kansas State would have to lose twice. So it just really, it's a long, and with only 3 regular season games to go after this, it's just too much of a long shot for that to happen. So big game today. Again, if you're online, please say hi. Just drop the name, say hi. And if you're online and you're not in Twin Peaks right now, come on out to Twin Peaks, where they got the best food, especially for sports bars in the Oklahoma City area. All right, here comes the kick. Holds down. The kick is good. So we're going to overtime. We are going to overtime in the Kansas State-Texas game. All right. So that will probably, I don't know if that will delay the start of the Sooners or not. No, it won't, because they're playing on different channels. Kansas State and Texas are playing on Fox. OU and OSU are playing on ABC, so it's not going to delay the game. We'll have to check back on it. So they should be flipping it over to the Sooners here any minute now, because it's 2:37. Anyway, I appreciate all y'all. Hey, first of all, I apologize, you guys, for being late today. Yeah, a hectic day. I had to make a couple trips back home. We forgot stuff, and without it would not have worked. So we will be back on at halftime of the OU OSU game, and then we will, like always, we'll be on after the game talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the OU OSU game. If you haven't already, please take the time to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. That way you get notified every single time that Old Man Nate goes live or drops a video. And also, you can go on over to, let me see, where's it at up here? oldmancoffee.shop, where you can support Old Man Nate by getting you some coffee. We got 47 different flavors of coffee. You can get a tumbler. We got a couple different colors to choose from and a couple different sizes. Or you can get you a T-shirt, okay? And right now we got specials going on. If you buy you a 2 T-shirts or 2 tumblers or a T-shirt and a tumbler, you get you a 12-ounce bag of coffee for free. Appreciate it again. One more time, saying thank you to all y'all for joining in for the pregame show. Sorry it wasn't much of one today. We'll make it up to you guys, and come back after or at halftime, and then after the game where we will have a post-game show. All right. Thanks again for watching Old Man Nate, and we'll see you next time.